shout out Jose Alvarado. I don't want to talk about the team, but I'll shout out Jose. What a shitty end to the season for him. Or a great end, but having a phenomenal Rising Stars game, almost having the opportunity to build off of that, and then immediately, getting hurt, and now he's what looks like out for, I'm assuming, out for the rest of the season. Like, there's not going to be that long of a run.
Yeah, and, man, that whole – just the whole situation it becomes so toxic. Just, shout out to Zion, too.
Well, of course, but
because
I wasn't going to touch that.
I just want to say it because he's going to catch the slander, and I mean maybe some of it is like you don't know how much of it is him not taking care of his body. He seems like he does now.
Yeah,
it seems like he does. But no matter what, he's going to catch the heat, and I don't know. I'm growing tired of this fan base. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I love you guys.
Not all of the fan base. When I say the fan base, it's not all of the fan base. There's just actually, you know what? These moments have made it easier for me to like cleanse
your timeline,
my Twitter, because when it pops up, just like, yep, that's gonna be an unfollow. Although Twitter sucks, and they still somehow show up on.
Oh my god, dude! There's people I unfollowed a year ago that are showing up, and I'm like, why? Right. People I blocked. I'm like, how is this on my timeline right now?
That's the thing. I try to avoid the block button. Like, I just want to unfollow you. That's it.
I block certain people.
No, it's going to have to get to that point. That's what it's going to take.
I muted people for a while. That didn't work. So then I blocked them. Yeah, it doesn't matter. No, there is a sense of toxicity. We don't have to go down that rabbit hole too much because I think by talking about it, you're kind of contributing to it.
It's just frustration.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right. I agree. But no, as far as Zion goes, I have always been in the same camp as I know he's not really known for sports as much anymore, but as Devin from Hold the Mayo, the Red Bean guy, for anybody out there that doesn't know him that way. His whole thing was like, we'll wait for Zion. He used to do a radio show. People would call in, they'd hate on him, call him fat, all these nasty things. And he would be like, dude, no, like we're not doing that here. Like, that's not what we're doing. And that's kind of the mindset I've always had. Bring it to present day. I think he's definitely taking care of himself. He had a hamstring injury. Like, that shit happens. It happened to Devin Booker, and he was out for a long time.
I almost don't want him to come back. I'm like, I get why. Like, if you're in the playoffs, you obviously want him there, but hamstring injuries suck, man. Like, just one bad move, and he's going to be out for half of next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you want to make sure that he's ready.
Yeah. And after missing last year, he's going to be ready. Like, or he's going to tell you he's ready and wants to go. He wanted to go last year.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He's
ready now.
Yeah.
If you ask him right now, he wants to play right now.
It's just a weird situation, man. It's like realistically, what are your chances with him coming back? Because is he going to be? I don't think he's 100% of himself if he does come back. But 70-80% of Zion is.
It's still phenomenal.
Right.
I think, you know what I honestly think, and this is in no way meant in a negative way, I think that even if he comes back with 2 games left is the 2-week timeline, even if we make the play-in, which I think we may. Honestly, I still think we may make the play-in. I've been
keep
on that
saying
train.
No, but yeah,
I think that you've seen with this team so often, it takes them a while figuring out how to play together. I still don't know if they know how to play together right now. I think they just played some bad teams. Like, yes, they forced the ball to Jonas more when he's on the court, which you should do if he's on the damn court, to let everything else open up. But I think with him coming back, you make the play in, you're probably not going to have a great offensive strategy or approach because it's going to take time to figure out, okay, he's back. Do we just let him run the offense? How do we do this?
The craziest thing is, like, you say you don't know if they know how to play together. We don't even know if they work together because of how little games they've played. You know what I mean?
You're not wrong.
It's like that's not even a shot at anybody. That's just, we don't know. We literally don't know. And I don't know. That's honestly the most frustrating thing for me, that we're this many seasons in and
listen,
I don't know.
I can be unapologetically optimistic. I'm a very optimistic person in general. You know, the rose-colored glasses tell me, oh, he could come back and he could be dominant, and we could see that team we saw game 1 against the Nets, and we're going to roll through a lot of people. Well, it turns out the Nets weren't very good, first of all. And who knows? Like, I don't know. Like, you can go either way, right? Like,
Yeah. You know what's isn't it crazy, like, the similarities just, like, between, like, him and Michael Thomas? Just the fact that, so, the reason, like, this specific injury, not, like, the injury itself, but the situation where Mike shouldn't have came back for that initial injury. But he's doing it to try to, because he's a competitor and wants to do it, gets hurt. And, you know, that's what's in the back of my head when I look at the Zion situation. I'm like, we've seen this with him. I don't want the same thing with Zion. I don't know, man. Just it sucks.
It sucks for a couple reasons. First and foremost, it sucks because obviously the players are out, right? Like, it sucks anytime they're not playing, both of them, regardless of, you know, what's going on. The second part that makes it suck even more is that obviously the fan bases are normally the same people. Like, a lot of the same people are a part of both fan bases.
Right.
So there's a lot of, like, bleed over between blaming the medical staff, blaming the player on both ends, because people are just sick of it. They're sick of seeing people hurt. They're sick of Michael Thomas not playing. They're sick of Zion not playing, and they're blaming the player for it, which is frustrating, because, like, you can't control injuries. You really can't. You just genuinely can't. You can pretend you can all you want. Shit happens. Call it bad luck. Call it what you want. Like, yes, you can strengthen other parts of your body. There's things you can do to protect yourself better. But, like, at the end of the day, injuries happen. And blaming those guys and acting like those guys don't want to be here, or treating them in some negative way because they're hurt and they're not playing. They're competitors. They want to play, especially. I mean, you just alluded to it. Guys like Michael Thomas and Zion.
Yeah, if, like, you don't. That was the thing that, and I hate that we're, like, harping on this, like, negativity right now, like the negative situations. But that's what frustrated me about Michael Thomas the entire time, is people were saying he doesn't want to be out there. Like, the guy got hurt coming back too early just to try to win Drew Brees another ring. That is the only reason he came back. Like, that's the whole reason he was out. And then, like, that, and then the people that say once he got his money, he didn't want to play. Like, that's just stupid, because he broke the record after he got his money, you know? So those two things are the thing that pissed me off about him. But it's the same with Zion. Now, like, last year or whatever with Zion, he didn't do himself any favors by not saying anything. But then again, like, he doesn't owe us anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, I mean, if people are talking that much shit about me all the time, I don't know that I would say anything either.
Right.
You know? So
I don't blame him for the way. Well,
and he's a kid. I mean, he's a kid.
Right.
Yes, he has to be a professional because he's where he's at, but he's a kid. He's only 22, which is another reason that I'm not ready to give up on.
I'm definitely not ready to give up on.
You know
That's
what I mean?
not even a question. That shouldn't even be on the fucking timeline. It was a joke.